Welcome to the wonderful world of dodgy movies and TV. I am your host, movie and TV Mistress, coming from you from hot, sunny, well, Blackpool. And yes, I'm not wearing my usual purple hair. It's over here for a change, because it's just, you know what, it's too hot. And I know, I'm wearing black. Why are you wearing black when it's hot? Who knows? But let's get to the point, shall we, folks? This week, I'm reviewing a film called Return to Horror Hotel. This was brought to my attention by a producer of the film called Deborah Hess. Yes, with a title like Return, it is technically a sequel. But it's an anthology movie, so does it really matter? It's like Creepshow 2. You don't really need to see Creepshow to understand Creepshow 2, but Creepshow is a better film. Without further ado, here is the trailer for Return to Horror Hotel.
There's monsters here.
Mario, Abby, just get your whiny butts inside.
This is what you're trading your car for? Some old stick of wood that's supposed to make you beautiful?
This guy lives in a motor court off Highway 41. He's a hermit. He's been shut up in his room for years. No one's ever seen him.
Oh, so that's the merchandise. An old box.
It's not the box, you welter brain. It's what's in the box.
What's in the box?
Houdinis Hand.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in that, isn't there? Houdinis Hand, for one. That shocked me. I have to say, the trailer was what really drew me in for this movie, and I sat and watched it. I will admit, I did actually go and watch the first one, just to see what their style was. And after seeing the first movie, it didn't really set me up for what was going to happen in this one. The first movie and the stories in that are so different to what you get in Return to Horror Hotel. So in this you have 4 stories. You have bed bugs. Just saying the title just makes me kind of go, ew. Because I've been attacked by bed bugs. Those are not nice things. And the other side effect that I was not aware of from this, which actually is true, was surprising. Then there is the guillotine. That was a good one. I really enjoyed that. Then there was No Time for Love. And finally, Houdinis Hand. Great titles. Draws you in right there. You're just going, what? And it's all set in a hotel. In my mind, I'm always going to refer to those as motels. They refer to it in the film, and even in the first one, as a motor court. Whatever. It's a motel. So, it's like... yeah, it's basically like different tales from different rooms from a motor court. This time, at least, there's a possibility that they're all taking place in the same universe and the same timeline, whereas in the original movie, possibly different universes and different timelines for each story, but this one seems to have some interweaving connection between some of the stories, so that's quite nice. So the first one, Bed Bugs, is, as the title suggests, it's about bed bugs. And there's a room with a bodybuilder who's on steroids, who collects his sweat. There's a room with a lady and 2 kids. She's delivering the 2 kids to her brother, I think. Their storyline's not that big of a deal, but, you know, kids, so... And then we have this guy. He is allowing bed bugs to eat his legs and the legs of, I'm assuming, his business partner, possibly his partner, I don't know, that woman. And the reason he's doing this is apparently, and this, I did look this up, this is actually a true thing that does occur. People breed bed bugs for drugs because they are hallucinogenic. You collect the bed bugs once they're fully grown, mash them up, and then you smoke them, and you get hallucinogenic drugs from bed bugs. Gross. Why would you do that? Please tell me. Anyway, turns out the bed bugs have not just been biting on the drug dealer, they have now spread to the other rooms of the hotel. So now, of course, we're getting supercharged bed bugs because they've been biting the steroid-using bodybuilder in the other room who's been collecting his sweat, because apparently that's a pheromone, or I don't know. Apparently he sells it on the internet, his sweat. Gross. This whole story is just disgusting. The only thing that comes out of it well are the two kids, because, well, they're the nicest things in this story and they survive, so yay. It's just a gross story. You've next got a story about a piece of the guillotine that was used to kill Marie Antoinette. Right, so apparently this guillotine has, or a piece of guillotine that's been left, has magical powers and has been used by different famous women throughout history. And, well, now some rich socialites who are pageant girls want to get hold of it to win the pageant. Because Marilyn Monroe had it, so it must work. And then the next, I know I've spoiled the ending kind of the first story, but I don't really want to spoil any more endings because I think you have to see the film, because honestly, they're very well done. And I was pleasantly surprised by how well done these stories were. So, guillotine, piece of guillotine that makes people beautiful apparently. Hence Marilyn Monroe was so successful, because Marie Antoinette was apparently incredibly beautiful. Okay, sure, why not? Next story, No Time for Love. Involves a sailor who has become a hermit, as in he stays in a hotel room, or motel room in this case, and has been in there ever since his ship sank many, many decades ago, and has not aged a day. And then a girl gets in when delivering a book. And I don't want to spoil it. Honestly, normally I know I go through the whole plot and tell you what's going on, but I really don't want to. I'll tell you the basic gist of what's going to happen, what goes on in the story, but I'm not going to tell you the endings. Okay? Next you have Houdinis Hand. Turns out a petty thief has stolen a box containing Houdinis Hand from another petty thief, who uses the said Houdinis Hand to get in and out of places that no one else could. Because, you know, Houdini was famous for getting in and out of safes, because he worked in a safe place. I've watched the film Houdini with Tony Curtis. I understand where this is going. They're saying his hand is magical and still alive for some reason, and can get in and out of places. And it's kind of, is the hand there or not there, and is the owner of said hand that stole it in the first place going to get it back from the people who stole it from him? All I want to tell you is that this is actually a very good anthology movie. There is, with all anthologies, at least one story that is not as strong as the others. In my opinion, and it's only my opinion, people, in my opinion, it's not because it was gross, but it was just, it didn't go it just didn't go far enough with the story of the bedbugs. I was hoping for it to go a bit darker, maybe massive bedbugs. I mean, they were big, but they weren't like, I was expecting giant-sized bedbugs, okay? I was expecting human-sized bedbugs. Just a thought. But I will tell you that the other stories are all very good. They're all good in their own way. I just wanted a bit more from bedbugs. Because I was expecting giants from the steroids. Anyway, in my opinion, if you like Twilight Zone or Outer Limits or any of that, these 4 stories are very much in the vein of Twilight Zone and Outer Limits. They're tales of people getting their just desserts, or you know, tragic love stories, stuff like that. They are, in my opinion, very similar to what I grew up watching with Twilight Zone and the Outer Limits. A bit of creep show chucked in there as well, you know. So it would be, in my opinion, a very good continuation of like a creep show type film. It's just not done in the same style as creep show, but you know what I'm saying. It's in that vein. I kind of feel like the bedbug story probably belongs in Tales from the Crypt myself, but my first thought when I saw this was it reminds me of Twilight Zone stories, which is good, and they're done well. The acting is okay. It's an indie flick. You're not gonna get great actors, but you're gonna get decent actors that want to do a good job, and they have done a good job. Some of them better than others. That's all I'll say. The directing is good. The scripts are good. As I say, I was just disappointed with bedbugs. That's just me though. But once you get past bedbugs, I mean, if you're into that story, go for it. But you know, if you get past that one, the stories get better. It's a bit like Holidays. You know, if you ever see Holidays anthology movie, there is a couple of stories that are really good, and then some of the stories you're going, I've lost interest. And the good thing was, I didn't lose interest with bedbugs. I was just expecting a big scare and a big giant bedbug to attack, and it didn't happen. I mean, they were big. They were like tarantula-sized bedbugs, but I was expecting bigger. See, I like things that are big. What can I say? So, that is my review of Return to Horror Hotel. Please do check it out. It is available on Amazon Prime, which is where I watched it. And as I've said before, many of the films I've reviewed recently happen to be on Amazon Prime. And that's because Amazon Prime seems to be showing a lot of, well, I refer to them as dodgy, maybe bad. They're just films that you wouldn't normally go out your way to watch. But do check out movies that you wouldn't normally go out your way to watch. You know, not your blockbusters. Sometimes, like I used to when I was a teenager, I'd stand in a video store and I'd pick up, you know, the one that I really wanted. And then, you know, with your 3 for 5 day type deal, whatever it was that week, I'd pick up 2 more videos of just by looking at the covers. And you know that saying, don't judge a book by its cover? Sometimes the covers for the dodgy films are better than the covers for the good films, and sometimes they just grab you and you go, alright. One of them being, for me, back in the day, was Killer Clowns from Outer Space, because that just looked bizarre, and it's awesome, as I've reviewed. Another one more recently, not in a video store, technically it was in a HMV, but Rubber. Killer Tire people. Covers, sometimes the artwork is brilliant. And the artwork for this is actually quite good too, so do check it out. And if you get a chance to, Amazon Prime also has Horror Hotel from 2016. Not the Vincent Price one. I haven't got to that one yet. I will get to it. But do check out Horror Hotel from 2016 by the same people. And lots of the same actors. And yeah, show them some love. They've done a pretty decent film considering. And I will be back next week for another review. And until then, remember what I say every week. There's a lot of dodgy films out there. And I like watching dodgy films. I know, I change it up every week. So, hit the subscribe button when it pops up on this side of the screen. Comment down below, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, on my chat website as well. And when you hit that subscribe button that pops up on the screen over here, if you hit the notification bell that turns up over here, that will notify you when I upload. Because just subscribing doesn't let you know when I upload. But if you hit that, you'll get a message probably on your phone saying, hey, you like this person, you subscribe to them, they have a video up, you know? So, till then, lots of love, bye bye.